I have discovered a formula that has unlocked the financial freedom of hundreds of people who have chosen to join the Urban Clean family. This podcast is about what motivates them. This is more than just a business for me. It's a mission. I'm Damien Bohm, and this is the Urban Clean podcast.
Thanks, Damien. Hello, I'm Julia Sirignani for In Profile. On this episode of the Urban Clean podcast, I'm talking to Shannon Stewart. Shannon has spent a career in hospitality, but this year she and husband Jed have become Urban Clean regional franchises in Southeast Queensland. It's the first time as business partners, and to tell us about why they've made this business and life decision to join the Urban Clean family is Shannon Stewart. Shannon, hi, and welcome to the Urban Clean podcast.
Hi, Julia. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. Thanks. Now, tell us about your decision to join forces with your husband, Jed, of 5 years and become part of the Urban Clean family.
Yeah, so we moved to the Gold Coast 3 years ago. We were quite fortunate when we moved that interest rates were low. We were lucky enough to buy a really beautiful modern home. And over the last 3 years, we've sort of been thinking about what the next step is. So at the end of last year, we put our heads together. We were thinking about investing in property, but obviously, again, interest rate rises and all those sorts of things played part of that. So we decided that we wanted to buy a business instead.
Is this your first foray into commercial cleaning?
Yes, it is. No previous cleaning experience, but obviously working in hospitality for 15 years, running hotels has hopefully enabled us to have some of the skills that it's going to take to make the business successful.
What about Jed? What was his background?
So Jed has been in material handling, which is forklifts, for the last 15 years as well. And he moved from the UK to Australia with the same company, progressed through there, and then has just been leading teams throughout that industry for the last 10 or so years.
And what are those transferable skills that you're most using? Yours from hospitality, Jed's from his background.
So both of us over the last 10 plus years leading teams, we've been leading from the front, helping others develop, a lot of coaching and guidance giving, and a lot of customer service for both myself and Jed. Commercial cleaning, obviously very customer service focused as well. But what we enjoyed both about prior roles was being able to build and develop teams, and that's what we're going to do as franchisees come on board with the business.
Now, tell me about the area that you're operating in, and also how many franchisees have you currently?
So Jed and I have the rights to the Gold Coast territory. It's quite large, over 4 electorates. So we go from Coolangatta up as far as Beenleigh, which actually borders onto Logan. We currently have 3 franchisees. Jed and I also currently run a hybrid operation where we have cleaners. So we're running a master franchise as well as running a cleaning franchise until we have enough franchisees come on board where we can just be ensuring that we're passing on all contracts to them.
How many sites, Shannon, would you say you operate in at the moment?
So currently we have over 40 clients and weekly we seem to be bringing on 1 to 3 clients.
Okay, wow, okay. Gee, that's is that more than you expected? How's it going so far? I mean, when did you actually come on board?
So officially training and development and handover finished 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
I'm currently in my 2nd week. There's been a lot of obviously training, development, onboarding from the head office team and others that have been involved in the Gold Coast territory as it's been built over the last 12 months. So yeah, it's going very well. A lot to learn, I think, through practice. Practice makes perfect. And from there, hopefully, in the next sort of 12 months, Jed will be in the business with me, not just in the backgrounds, working side by side. And we'll be on our way.
Tell me about that onboarding process. As somebody who will follow in your footsteps, other master franchises who may come on board, describe that experience of onboarding and how you're supported and how you're set up to succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. So from day one, Damien and the team have been nothing but hands-on. It has been quite amazing to see. Damien himself had lent me copious hours of his time to ensure that Jed and I really are set up, even as far as going out in the field, learning the client acquisition processes, all the way to franchise development and franchise acquisition.
What's been the biggest surprise so far? You said there's been challenges and you're on a learning curve. What is it that you're learning or confronting that really has surprised you?
I think that for me, the biggest thing is this is not something that we're obviously comfortable in. It's our first time. So it's confronting in the fact that we have to learn new skills and adapt with the environment that's around us. As far as challenges, again, it comes down to learning, but learning the processes and actually implementing them to see the results and the rewards at the other end.
What advice do you have for franchisees, or what advice would you have for your new franchisees when they come to you and say, I'm interested? How do you respond, and what are the things that you would really underline for them?
Look, my advice is take risk. It has to be calculated risk. Obviously, do what's within your means. But just because you've never done it before doesn't mean that you won't be successful at it. And I think if you want a better life for yourself, it's worth giving a go.
When you became interested in Urban Clean as a prospective business for you and Jed, to what extent did you factor in work-life balance, having financial freedom, but also time freedom?
Look, that was probably the most important three things in anyone's decisions. But for Jed and I, because I'd worked in hospitality and been doing shift work, time freedom was actually more important than financial freedom for us. And since day one, I now get to be at home on weekends. I'm home after 5 p.m. So my son Oliver is all the better for it. I'm much happier that mum's home a lot more. But absolutely, coming into Urban Clean and going through the process before we actually purchased the business, it was all about where we could see ourselves and where we could grow the business in the next 12, 18, 24 months and beyond. So definitely financial freedom is key, and it's going to offer that for us.
What are you learning about clients' needs in the commercial cleaning business, Shannon? And any surprises there or any insights there?
Yeah, I mean, look, you go through the training. The training tells you statistically what the client's needs are and what they prefer. But then going out in the field and actually seeing that put in practice and understanding that the cost is actually not what is most important to the clients that are important to Urban Clean. It is actually building out a customer relations, having a trustworthy person that is going to take care of your business and your business brand, and obviously us being as professional as we are.
Are you having fun, Shannon? Is it fun?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I get to get in my car, I get to go and see different people, see different businesses on the Gold Coast, things I didn't even know existed. And there are some quite weird and wonderful places out there.
Name one. What's something that you're like, wow, who knew this?
So I actually walked into a business when I was training with Damien, a place called Gilmore Space, and they obviously build rocket ships in Helensvale. And they launched one from Townsville. It was on the news a couple of days ago, and I was just like, wow, didn't even know this existed.
Wow, you're on the inside. It's great. Now, apart from the fun, I'm going to finish up with the question about inspiration. What has been, if you can, think of a moment that really struck you as being the most inspirational in your short but intense period that you're having with Urban Clean? What's the most inspired or inspirational thing?
It's actually been speaking with the other master franchises around Australia and really hearing about their journeys of growth and success. And it kind of affirms for Jed and I that we'd made the right decision, and also motivates us to grow our business, and hopefully it will then be as successful.
If I was to chat with you in 12 months' time and say, how's business, how's growth, what would you want to be responding? How would you want to answer that question?
I would want to tell you that business was booming, and that we had brought on over 100 clients in the Gold Coast region, and that we had sold many, many more franchises to help people start their own businesses and own journeys in life.
Well, with that, I wish you luck, you, Jed and Oliver. And thanks so much, Shannon, for being on the podcast today.